Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's bright and early, daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through. Didn't really sleep well last night. You know, we all have voices in our heads, right? You have different voices in your heads that talk to you all day long. 99% of those voices are bullshit or nonsense. There is a true voice that you have. That's your guide. That voice, the true voice that you have, will guide you through life. It has all the wisdom that it needs already. You have all the wisdom of a sage, of a wise man in you. You can give yourself the best advice if you find that voice. How can you find your guide? Your inner Sherpa. You know, those Sherpas that help people climb whatever that mountain is over in India. Mount Everest, I guess. You know, that's a disgusting shithole, Mount Everest. I've never been there, but I've seen documentaries about it. They shit up there, so when you get up there, there's just piles and piles of refuse. They have a dump up there, so they just dump all their garbage. Dead bodies, they just leave dead bodies. It's a third world fucking shanty town up there on Mount Everest. Well, that's disgusting. And you get a bunch of skinny, little beta male motherfuckers. I've met a few dudes who were interested in that shit. They all came across as real beta weaklings to me. And they were all proud of themselves that they climbed to the top. Patting themselves on the back real hard that they climbed to the top. So what? So fucking what? But you got to find your inner Sherpa. It starts by quieting the mind. This is one of the reasons why people like to practice meditation on a daily basis. To try to engage in the exercise, in the game, because that's what it is, it's a game. Of quieting the mind, of quieting that chatter, those voices that are always running their mouths. When you're sitting there judging people, you're thinking about all the bullshit. Most of the thoughts that you think are bullshit. Anybody, pick anybody, Einstein, 99% of the thoughts that Einstein thought were complete and total bullshit nonsense. As the guy's standing in line somewhere at a cafeteria and he's just like, well, that chick's ugly. I mean, we all think bullshit nonsense all day long. You're not sitting there philosophizing, coming up with the greatest ideas in the world 24 hours a day. That happens in your overall life, just very minuscule. And it's largely because the way our brain works, we have these massive memory and databases that categorize literally everything that we see, even peripherally. And it categorizes it forever. You remember everything you've ever seen. You don't recall it all, but your brain categorizes everything that you've ever even seen, even just once, fleetingly. Every person that's walked by you in a busy street, your brain is memorizing everything. And then it spits it back out and regurgitates everything, all the songs you've heard, all the bullshit. It just all kind of jumbles its way back out. Anybody who suffers from ADHD, ADD, you know what I'm talking about with how overwhelming this can be. That disorganized mind, and that's largely what ADD is a disorganization of the mind, of this thought process. It gets overwhelming. There's a way to control it. Meditation is one way to learn how to control it. The game of meditation is nothing more than a thought game. You sit there, find a comfortable position. It could be in a chair. You don't have to be crossed legs. I've seen people struggle to get into some position, like lotus position. Hey, what are you doing? Cut that shit out. You can meditate while you're washing dishes, while you're unpacking your groceries, while you're sitting there in traffic. It's just a mental game. You do it while you're brushing your teeth. It's just a mental game. And the game is, I'm going to try not to think for a 5-minute period, 10-minute period, whatever. I'm going to try not to think thoughts. And it's virtually impossible. You might get to like a second, a tenth of a second, or 2 seconds if you're lucky. That would be a long time. Where it's just nothingness. Like static on your TV, it's just nothing. But for the most part, it's almost impossible to stop thinking. So you feel, a lot of people say, well, meditation's bullshit. You miss the point. You don't know how to play the game right. It's just a game. The point is to try. And you may have 2 seconds, 3 seconds, just a short 30 seconds, I don't know, of not thinking, of nothingness. And then those thoughts always come back. The game is to then try again. Notice, okay, the thoughts have come back. My mind is now cluttered again. I'm going to try once again to wipe all that dirt free, to get all that clutter out, and to clean up my mind. And if I only get 30 seconds, maybe I'll get 32 seconds this next time, this next try. Even if I only get 20 seconds. The continual process of trying to clear your thoughts gets you good at it. Gets you used to the sensation of thoughtlessness. A lot of people don't even know what that is. You have to experience it. Even if it's for a second and you know it, then once you know it, you know it. It's hard to explain. This is what Taoism is about, the way. That's what Tao means, the way. And there's a saying in Taoism that those who know don't say, those who say don't know. Right? Those who run their mouth about it usually don't know shit about it. Those who know about it don't say nothing. Because it's rather unexplainable. It's a aha kind of thing, and both of us can kind of nod and be like, yeah, you catch that, I caught that, but it's hard to verbalize it of exactly what it is. So meditation is just one way to try to gain control of your mind. And you can do this anywhere. Through practice of quieting the mind. Go out into nature, go fishing. Find activities, go on a motorcycle ride. Find activities where you can slip into that meditative state. It's good to find places that are quiet. Now you say, well, my motorcycle isn't quiet. Neither is mine. My Road King is loud as fuck. But it doesn't matter. Because I'm trying to get rid of all that talking and bullshit you guys do. All the fucking shit from society. I don't need any music. You and your fucking radio baggers when you play your music. What the fuck is wrong with you? What do you need? Air conditioning on there too? You might as well just go get a car. That's next. I'll make a whole other video about that shit. Bashing you fucking radio baggers. Fucking can't stand you guys. When I bought my Road King, I told the salesman specifically up at Harley Davidson, you sell me a fucking bagger with no radio. He brought me right to the Road Kings. Once you can start to master that quietness inside your head, live in the silence for as long as you can to experience that often, every day, often. All those voices start to fade away. It starts to become a lot more obvious that they were all just bullshit. This will change your life, and you start to realize that some of the voices that have been guiding you have been misleading you, been lying to you, have been tricking you, berating you, telling you wrong things, negative things. You have been doing this to yourself, and you can start laughing at those voices now instead of following them. And you start to hear that fake, true voice in the background, and that's a voice you want to pay attention to. And when that voice gets louder and louder and louder, it becomes the only voice inside your head. And you finally get to a point, kind of like I have, where I can very easily shut out the other voices when I need to. They come back. Because that's the way our memory banks work. That's the way this organic computer inside our head works. It all comes back. Your brain likes to express itself. But when I need to, particularly in times of anxiety or struggle, I can get rid of all that clutter and have that connection with that true inner guide, my inner Sherpa, and can be like, come this way, homeboy, follow me. Now, this may start off with you as a feeling. A lot of people get a gut feeling, and they can have really strong gut feelings. That's great. cultivate that. But that gut feeling is the caveman stage. That's an unevolved stage of that inner Sherpa, that inner guide. That motherfucker has a voice. That's you. You have a voice. You can speak to yourself articulately with the wisdom of the world. You won't even know where it's coming from. You'll be like, Jesus Christ, how did I come up with that shit? That's you. Allow yourself to not only just feel those feelings, but to go in them, to really identify that. Laser focus on your gut feelings. Quiet the mind at the same time, and you will notice that those gut feelings, those sensations that have been driving you, and that gut feeling for many of us is always right. It feels like magic. That turns into a very clear voice. Find your voice. It's all just food for thought. Thanks for watching.